Great. So, very short introduction about AWS. So, AWS is a worldwide cloud provider. AWS is part of Amazon, and we're doing this for nearly 10 years now, providing cloud services. We're providing you with more than 40 services. And very important, we are now worldwide operating, which means we have 11 regions, which means we have 11 areas where we have different computer centers around the complete world. We have a very aggressive pricing philosophy, which means we are continuously reducing our prices. And so since 2006, we reduced prices 45 times. And today we already have a big ecosystem, which means at AWS we have many partners from consulting area up to technology partners. If you're interested in joining AWS, please get in contact with me. We are currently also looking for a lot of people at AWS. Here I have a little bit of an overview what AWS is providing to you. You can see here on the bottom we can provide you with all the core infrastructure like compute, storage, content delivery network, databases, network, and all of that as managed services, so you don't have to care about it, you get it from AWS. We are managing, for example, your Oracle database and you just use it. And on top we have much more services, for example in the area of big data, we have Hadoop systems, they are called Elastic MapReduce at AWS. We have data warehouses, we have data pipelines, and many more. Okay, here again, especially in the area of Internet of Things, we are operating globally, and in October we just launched a region here in Germany. It's the Frankfurt region, so you can also have computer centers here in Germany. So if you have issues with data governance, data security, you can put your data here in Germany, but you also can put it around the world. If you have customers around the world, you want to have low latency, put your data around the world with your applications. So that's all about AWS. No more marketing slides here. Now let's get into the Internet of Things topic. What's Internet of Things? At AWS, if we're looking around what's happening on Internet of Things, we see a lot of customers with very different devices. Tom already mentioned, we see data from machines, so Industry 4.0. We see data from cars. So all of there we have devices sending data somewhere. Tom mentioned some backend system. So if we check for, the beamer is moving. If we check for what companies like Gartner are telling us, we will see more than between 30 and 200 billion of devices which are going to connect with some backend system until 2020. So we see a big increase of devices which try to connect to whatever. So, and that's Internet of Things. Devices connecting to some backend systems, sending data there from the device to the Internet of Things backend. We have to store the data there, we will analyze them there, and basically we make decisions there. And then, based on these decisions, we send some kind of messages back to the devices to do anything. For example, as Tom mentioned with the cars, probably don't stop the car, keep it running because the light is not switching over to green in the next 2 minutes. And if we check our AWS customers, what are our main use cases? So we see also the part connected car a lot. So a lot of automotive industry is interested how to use Internet of Things for connected car. We also see all the topics about the insurance. So insurance depending on your driving behavior. But we also see a lot of activities in the life science area. All the clinical operations, all the doctors, they are interesting to track all their measurements from their remote clinical monitoring systems. Or some of you probably have these nice watches which track your health status and your steps, how many steps you did per day. All these companies would like to use these data in the area of Internet of Things and analyze them. Another interesting point is assisted living. So We have customers creating systems for older people which can track their behavior. For example, if they're going to bed at a special time, if they go in the morning into the kitchen, if they are using the fridge to get some food out of there, if they're not doing that, kind of notification is sent to another person to probably go there and to check if the person is everything all right. So also in the part of assisting in living and living behavior, we see a lot of activity in the area of Internet of Things. I have one use case in AWS where we really already do this kind of Internet of Things. It's called Dash. So just Google Dash and Internet of Things. It's a company from the US. And they have a small device which you can plug in all cars, since cars created in 2006, then the car manufacturer created the standard. And this plugin will send data about your speed, about your oil. So all the data are available in the car via Bluetooth to your mobile phone. And from the mobile phone, this data gets sent into the AWS cloud. And there they get analyzed, then sent back to your device. And so then you get information, okay, you went this track of this area, you were driving very fast, you used a lot of fuel in there, probably you should drive slower or switch gears earlier. And therefore some nice other examples, you can build groups with your friends and then compare your driver behavior. If someone is driving more faster than the other one or more economic way. So it's really interesting, really fun part. It's operating worldwide. And it's completely based on infrastructure at AWS. The nice part, I showed you the slide with the 11 regions around the world. This approach is only working with the global footprint of AWS. Because if you're driving in the US, they are sending the data to the computer center in the US. If you're driving in Germany, they are sending the data to the German data center. And so there are many more reasons why customers in the area of Internet of Things are choosing AWS. So one is that agility. So Internet of Things, it's developing very fast and you have to be very flexible. You get new sensor data all the time. So you have to adapt your infrastructure, you have to start more servers. You can do that on AWS. Next one is the variety of platform services. I mentioned we have more than 40 services. So if you need a NoSQL database, if you need a data warehouse, if you need just simple servers where you install something, you can get all of that at AWS. And you only pay per hour. So if you only want to use this for 1 hour, you use it and then you give it back to AWS and you only pay for 1 hour. Another point which many customers really like is that AWS is very rapidly developing our services. So last year we released more than 500 new features of our services. So if you would like to see improvement and more innovations, check the AWS blog and you will see more or less every day we release a new feature. And yeah, we have a lot of use cases where customers have proven that you can really save money by using on-demand infrastructure on AWS. Yeah, the big challenge, 40, 50 services, which services I should use to create my Internet of Things backend or infrastructure. So there are basically 4 things we are seeing in all projects. First of all, the global AWS infrastructure, so which means we have the global region around the whole world. We have Amazon Kinesis. Amazon Kinesis is a streaming service at AWS which you can use to send your data in there and then put it into AWS somewhere else or to do building dashboards. Amazon DynamoDB is the NoSQL database of AWS. So it's optimized for web applications, it's very fast. So if you want to create a web application or a mobile application, you probably will put your data in Amazon DynamoDB. Amazon S3 is the cloud storage of S3. There you can put all your log files, all your data recorded for archiving and everything. So that's the part we see around real-time applications. Then Elastic MapReduce is Hadoop on AWS. Very often you use Internet of Things to collect data, and after one day or every night or once a week, you're going to analyze all your data with big Hadoop jobs. So then you can use your elastic MapReduce cluster here. Big advantage of AWS. So if you only do the analysis on Friday evening, you start your compute Hadoop cluster on Friday evening with 100 nodes, you get it in 5 minutes, you do your analysis, and after 3-hour analysis you switch it off. You don't have to pay anything for the whole week. So you only use your resources on demand. But there are many more services which we see very often in Internet of Things use cases. So EC2, these are the servers on AWS, where you probably deploy your web application, so like Apache Web Server, for example. Virtual private cloud, that's a security concept of AWS, that you get your private cloud on AWS, where you have your own network, where you have your own IP address range, so that's something for security. Route 53 is the DNS service of AWS. You can use this for geo-routing, so based on Route 53 you can make the decision to which data center your application should send data. Amazon Lambda, it's very new, it was released in 2014. It means you can do processing based on events. So for example, Dash is using that. If the car has an accident, they can recognize that on special data. They use this as an event, and this event then triggers more activities like sending an email to some contact person that someone else with the car had an accident. Amazon Cognito is one service to do authentication with the cloud. Probably you want to do some kind of authentication that AWS knows which service connected to the cloud. And Elastic Beanstalk is, for example, a very simple service which you can use to deploy your application on a scaling infrastructure on AWS. Okay, so you see there's a lot around that. You have to know a lot about architecture and to combine them in the right way. So at AWS, we can provide you with the infrastructure, but we cannot provide you with coding and consulting. Therefore, it's very important that we have the partner network at AWS. So we have a big partner network with more than 1,000 partners worldwide, and we also have a lot of partners here in Germany. And that's the reason why events like this and like the Big Data Community Alliance is very important for AWS. We can work together with our partners. So check our partners like Consisto if you're interested to get started with some kind of Internet of Things applications on AWS. But we're not only talking about consulting partners, we also have technology partners. Later on you will see that NetApp is going to talk here. NetApp is a technology partner of AWS. NetApp is a very efficient storage mechanism, so many companies have their NetApp application running on-prem, so they are storing all their data on the NetApp on-prem. So that's here in the private cloud, so they're storing it here. But NetApp can be also deployed on AWS, and it's more or less only one click, and you can synchronize from your private NetApp storage to the NetApp storage in the cloud. So, for example, if you're running an Oracle DB and store your data on the NetApp here in your private cloud on your on-demand computer center, you can do all the backups into the cloud and basically use the cloud to do high-load analysis on that. You probably don't want to have the high load on your computer center because you need the Oracle database for operation. So do an automatically sync in the cloud and then run your analysis there. So at AWS, it's very important for us that we also have these technology partners in there. Okay, so now gets to the nice and tricky part, doing a demo. Okay, simple architecture. Tom talked a lot about architecture, so I only have one architecture here with me. So we have a lot of mobile devices here in the room. So let's send all your mobile data, how you move your device from the device into the